Hey, everybody. So the next day of Sefer Hamitzvot is continuing in the mitzvah of davening. Again, it's called the mitzvah of avoda. That's what it's referred to, work. And this is, the Rambam says, this is specifically the mitzvah of davening, and he counts it as one of the 613 mitzvahs. So today, what we're going to talk about is the direction, right? There's a geographical component, and when a yid davens, especially the climax of davening, which is Shemona Esrei, where do we daven? We daven facing the Beis HaMikdash. So what that means is a Jew outside of Israel will daven facing Israel, right? So that's why, like in America, you're facing Mizrach, you're facing east. But if you're in China, you're going to face Ma'ariv, you're going to face west. If you're in Israel, you face Yerushalayim. If you're in Yerushalayim, you face the Har HaBayis. Yes, by the Kaisel, we face where the Beis HaMikdash stood and will stand. Okay, now what does this mean? Meaning, like, what is, besides for the fact that that's the holiest spot for a Jew and that's where we want to be, and that's like, you know, it's our life, it's everything. What does this represent? So really, it's like the idea is complete and ultimate focus. Davening is about a time when you are all in. So we want to remove everything else from our mind. And, you know, it helps when you do something specific, it kind of tells you what to do, not just be like, hey, I'm focusing now. No, I literally am positioning my body to be facing a certain way so that all the physical, all the other things will leave me, and I can help. This helps me put in the focus that I'm supposed to have when I'm davening. Because davening, right, every mitzvah that we do, it's ideal if we do it with kavanah, with intent, with thinking about what it's supposed to be and doing it with the proper thoughts, etc. Right? A person that blows shofar, he specifically has to make a point of thinking about what he's doing, etc. But technically, those of us that just hear shofar, even if we don't have the proper intention, we heard shofar. Whereas davening, if you do not have kavanah, is what we call it, if you don't have the proper intention, then it's kind of worthless. Okay? I mean, we give leeway, so to speak, and that you could have general kavanah. You could just be like, I'm davening to Hashem right now. That does something, but the idea of davening is that it's supposed to be mindful. It's a conversation. It's a connection between us and Hashem. So when you turn in that direction, don't just stand there, but think, where am I right now? I'm focusing. I'm as if I'm in the Beis HaMikdash. I'm talking directly to Hashem. It tells us, focus, stay here, look here. Okay. Now, how do we stand? Right, again, when we daven Shemona Esrei, we stand with our 2 feet together. We have 2 feet and we put them together. Why is it like that? Because an angel, if we were to visualize an angel, of course he's not visual, has 1 foot, so to speak. So we are mimicking that. So really, this is symbolic that we're speaking to the Shekhinah, right? We're in Hashem's presence. What does 2 feet represent? Which is, for the most part, a positive thing. Yeah, you have 1 foot here, 1 foot there. We're multifaceted humans. We're involved in many different things. We're involved in our relationships with other people. We're involved in our work. We're involved in our spirituality. You know, it's important to have all these different aspects of our lives. But when we're davening, right now, there's one reality. This only reality is I'm connected to Hashem. It's like nothing else exists. So again, the way we face, the fact that we face Israel and we face the Beis HaMikdash is a focus, and the fact also that we put our 2 feet together. There is only one reality right now. I don't have 1 foot here, 1 foot there. Everything else doesn't exist for this moment when I am davening to Hashem, which is also what an angel represents. An angel has a very specific task, right? We learn this when the angels come to Avraham. Each of them, we say, like, why couldn't one angel go and do all the things? Like, what, are they completely incapable? Yes, each angel has one job and one job only. He is a singular, he, she, whatever. He is a singular agenda thing. Okay, Malach Gavriel is the thing of strength. Malach Hamavis is the one that kills. Malach of Ava is the one that's love. Whatever their job is, they're complete servants of Hashem, but that's the only thing they do. Humans are multifaceted. We are not angels, right? In this whole conversation, we're about to get the Torah. Why did Hashem, the angel said, why don't you give it to us? And why are you giving it to humans? They're so they're flawed. Hashem's like, exactly, I want humans on this program. I don't want angels. It doesn't mean anything to me. So, but when you're davening, we kind of tap into that angel mode of singularness. Me and Hashem, nothing else exists. There's a fascinating halacha that says that there's an idea in Shul. Don't hold me to this as a Rebbitzin. I have not yet taken on the Sachlata, and I'll tell you why in a second, but that in Shul, there's an idea to not kiss and say hi and hug people. Because in that moment, nobody else exists. It's you and Hashem. Where I think about it, during Shemona Esrei, we behave like this, right? If I'm davening Shemona Esrei, I'm not gonna say hi to somebody and wave across the room and hug and kiss. So it's really the idea that in Shul, you have this general mindset. I could find out more details, but I know some people, they're like, we don't kiss in Shul. So that just, it brings out this point. Okay. Okay, one more detail for today. This mitzvah applies to everyone always, the idea that when of davening, and this is a very strong thing to say, but if you violate the mitzvah of the idea that basically I don't daven to Hashem, even though a woman's not time bound, so she doesn't have the Shachris Mincha Erev component, but the idea of just davening and speaking to Hashem and making sure to have that connection on a daily basis is for everybody. And if somebody doesn't do it, to whatever extent that is, it could be merely Hashem, I'm speaking to you right now. Thank you for everything. Please take care of me. Essentially, you're denying the idea, the fact that Hashem is part of your life. By not davening, I know it's a strong statement, but it really brings out, you're basically saying Hashem doesn't really have what to do with me, definitely not fully, and therefore I don't have to daven, I have nothing to do with you. So, daven to Hashem, remember that it's a mitzvah in the Torah, focus, that's what all the different things we do, facing Eretz Yisrael, putting our feet together, kavana, mindfulness, and davening are two peas in a pod. You can't really separate one from the other. And have an amazing day. We'll see you tomorrow. I think tomorrow's the next day that we're going to continue to talk about davening. Bye, everybody.